Hi there, welcome to YouTube. It's Scott Milk today, bringing you some free versus free on Lockout. Right. First of all, I just want to say thank you if you are a new subscriber or you're a new person viewing my channel. Every view does count on my channel, and I do like the support that everyone has been giving me and the feedback that people have been giving me as well. One little feedback I have got to mention though is my voice. Yes, my voice is very monotone. I cannot do anything about that. And I'm bunged up with cold and I've got a sore throat. Smoking probably doesn't help anyway. But on a plus side, you know, let's move on really. I mean, what I do for work, let's talk about that. Now, I work for British Gas. I work in an outsourcing call centre, nothing too fancy. But I've got a little story to tell you. See, I work on inbound, I work on domestic. Domestic being, I work for people's homes. Like, I'm the average Joe you phone up. You want to give a meter reading? You come give it to me, But I was sat next to someone, and basically this woman she'd been entered into a draw because she was paying by direct debit. Now, unknowing to her, she didn't know she'd been put into this anyway. She got a letter through the post saying that, "Congratulations, Mrs. Customer, you have won," wait for it, £5,000. Now, not really £5,000 in cash, but £5,000 worth of nectar. Nectar being points that you can spend, such as, those little points you get from Sainsbury's nectar. You can get them from everywhere now. You can collect them on eBay, Amazon. I'm sure you can spend them on there as well. Well, anyway, this woman had won £5,000 worth of Nectar points, and to be honest, that is a lot just for paying by direct debit. So anyway, continue the story. She didn't have a Nectar card, so she had to phone an 0844 number. Now wait for it. She had just won £5,000. Fair enough, you can't spend it like cash, but you can spend it pretty much anywhere. Anyway, this woman then complains and makes a complaint that she has to ring an 0844 number, which will charge her no more than £1. Just £1. No like penny per minute kind of thing. Just £1. And she was refusing to phone this company up, this part of our business. So, to be honest, this advisor, what he said is basically, well, if you don't want to ring them, then you're not going to be able to claim £5,000, because this customer, she didn't have a Nectar card, so she had to phone up the Nectar specialist team to go get it. And it's just £5,000, and she wants to argue about £1. To be honest, guys, I just don't see the reason in it, or around it, or behind it. I just don't see her actual point in this. It just doesn't make any sense. But moving on from that story, I mean, if you want to give me your views on that, then feel obliged. Do it. Tell me what you think. On another note, I actually spoke to someone. I don't know if you would call him famous or not, but I spoke to someone from the BBC. BBC do photos. And anyway, I spoke to this guy, and he basically said that, he spoke down about British Gas. Basically said that we're horrible. In some cases, people can be right when they say it like that. When every energy supplier is different, but they're all the same in some sort of way. But anyway, he's telling me about his story, about what happened. Obviously, I'm not going to say anything just in case. But he's just basically explaining his story to me. And at first I didn't know who he was, and then he went on to explaining that he was Richard Thomas. Now, I'd say he's quite someone famous because he works for the BBC, and he's on radio quite a lot. I had no idea who he was. I was completely oblivious to this. I just thought he was some random guy, But anyway, it turns out, if I've read it up correctly, and I've done my research correctly, he's the head of marketing, audiences, and networking, I think. The head / admin. So yeah, this guy basically, he keeps on telling me story. tells me he's got a meeting with Phil Bentley. So I'm thinking to myself, wow, okay, you don't hear many people say that, so you kind of believe it. Anyway, go further on to the story. This guy basically says, well, I can't wait to, bring light news. And I'm like, oh, shit. Me? Hopefully me? No, I don't want to be on news. Not for this anyway. So I basically said to him, I made sure I've done a good job. Good job, good job. He says, you've been fine, pal. And that was such a weight lifted off my shoulders. Anyway, he got to the end of it and he basically said that we're probably going to be on news soon, which for me is not great, because at the end of the day we've got to deal with these calls from customers that watch the news and panic. They panic and call you just to make sure everything's okay, and then you get the same call over and over again. Yeah, I love customers. Some of them are complete idiots. But then again, you get paid for it. But as I say, we'll leave it there for today. I've talked a bit longer in this video. Hopefully, it'll turn out quite great, and hopefully you'll subscribe and whatnot. But as I say, if you've got any sort of feedback or any opinions, feel free to give them me. I do take it lightly, and I do take it constructively. So any sort of feedback is constructive feedback, and even criticism can be feedback and constructive as well. So I'm going to leave you on that note, and peace out, dudes. Peace.
Nice work, Delta. Well done.